That's how Kennedy people feel. That's how Clint Hill jumped on the motorcade after the assassination of Campbell. That's how it's done. So, I mean, some crazy lunatic wants to build some way. He's welcome to. But here's what I think is easy. Tell him to forget me. Tell him I disappeared. I'm not interested. It's over. And you can buy it yourself. And I'll buy it from you, and I'll give you commission on it. And then you own it. And then if we buy it from you, then everything is completely legal. How's that?
I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not willing to, because he is a friend of mine, whether you think he's a lunatic or not, and I find it a little insulting that you would say those things about
No, sir, I find your being very insulting. You're playing games with me. You're finding stuff from years ago and taking words I said, the figures of speech out of context, and trying...
Right, and I understand, like I said, and I'm not doing any of these things.
We've spent the past several days to weeks negotiating on something, and to me it's a done deal.
It hasn't been weeks. It's been 1 week ago. It's been 1 week ago today that you emailed me.
And it took that much time to do our research. I'm a very busy person, sir. I don't spend this much time with anybody unless it's a multi-million-dollar deal. I personally love President Kennedy, and I personally collect him. That's the only reason we've gone back and forth so many times. That was it. And again, copyright law, it's a fact. If you want, you can talk to my lawyer. I have to get something signed from someone that says I own the copyright. That's very simple to understand. Otherwise, I could have just PayPal you like everything else we do. We buy millions of stuff with eBay and PayPal it, and I don't even get involved when it does it. This is a specific thing. It's called a copyright. So if he owns the copyright, I have to get it registered under my personal name. Me, Keya Morgan, not the company, not anybody else. That's the law. This way, I own the copyright.
Right. Yeah.
If you're not playing games, if he's the eccentric one who's gone into videos from years ago and taking words out of context and is trying to use it against me and is trying to renege on a deal and is not sure he really owns the copyright because some other side have it, it sounds ridiculous. It sounds absolutely ridiculous. We're saying that if he owns it, we're buying it. That's it. It's that simple. There's no, and if you're not playing games and he's the one who's playing games, then you could just pretend like we're anybody else and buy it and not have to deal with us. I mean, it's that simple. Or you can just waste your time and it's a big joke and, you're selling it to somebody else for more money and that's what it's all about. Otherwise,
I haven't.
You're telling me.
Yeah, you are. You're getting a little worked up over this. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
Because I've wasted a lot of time on it, sir. I've wasted a lot of time. I've called multiple people, and I'm buying the other photos now, and now you're telling me that after we made a deal, and you sent me an email, and everything is fine, now all of a sudden you're telling me, why did you use the word blah, 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 and what? I mean, what if he hears all the other stuff I said? Wait until he hears the rest of my interviews. I speak extremely colorfully on TV. That's why they like me. They don't like boring people who just sit there and they're like, blah, blah, blah. Nobody wants that. That's,
right.
You're not a media pundit.
Right.
What does that have to do?
I mean, but there is a generation before us, the generation even that Kennedy was in, that those people don't understand that type of thing. That's why the news was the way it was back then.
You're right, but you're also President Kennedy. Did you see Mimi Alfred's interview on 2020 in 60 Minutes? She was the intern, President Kennedy's intern. She said on the first day of her internship, she lost her virginity to President Kennedy on Jackie's bed, and she was a teenager.
Right. I read that years ago. I mean, several years ago.
And that's one of 1,000 different women, and his own Secret Service agent, told.
Right, and I understand all of these things. I said from around people from President Kennedy's generation. I didn't say President Kennedy.
Yeah, no, I know people from his generation. But anyway, so long story short, none of these things have anything to do at all, with the sale. If you found someone who wants to buy it, if you want to, break a deal that you've already agreed on and we spent all this time on, that's your decision. I find it highly ethical and highly moral, but if that's something you want to do, you can. If he's really being really eccentric, then you know, he gave you permission to sell it to whoever you want on eBay. So I mean, you know, you can let me know when you put it on, we'll buy it, and then, you know, and then we'll get something from you.
Sure.
Because we own the copyright, you know. I mean, he'll give everything to you, and then you legally own it. So,
sure.
But whoever buys it, I'm just letting you know, unless they're total idiots, they're going to be stuck with it. Then we're paying you a premium. You know, we're paying you a premium. I mean, I bought a lot of these photos for like the 200, 300 range. I've never paid $750 for a single shot.
Right. So then why would it be likely that another person would spend more on it? I mean, as far as what you were telling me.
No, I don't think anybody's going to spend more. I didn't say that. I don't think anybody's going to spend more.
I mean, you've said multiple times that there's a possibility that there's a higher buyer out there, and we're reneging on this because we found someone that's willing to spend more on it.
Oh, you're saying you already have someone?
No, I'm saying that's what you have accused me of, like, multiple times on this conversation.
I said, well, because I've never been in a situation like this in my life. I bought thousands of stuff, sir, including President Kennedy's personal photographer. Nobody's ever called me and said, why did you years ago use the word orgasm on TV? That is ludicrous. I mean, you see how ludicrous that is? And that was not in the context of President Kennedy's assassination.
No, it was just over the photos of his family. That's where I think. Photos of his children, photos of...
Yeah, there's knowledge that, you know, it's part of like vocabulary that everyone loves. They're high in go on everything. That's fine of how I do it. Right. It's not an insult for person.
Well, and also something along the... I mean, you've called Ron ludicrous now, you've called him all these other things, and I just don't see how this is a deal that needs to keep going on. I mean, after all of these things that I've heard, I don't... I'm not playing games. I just...
Funniest things I've ever heard in my life. Simple deal. I pay you. You give us the photo, and you sign a deal. That's it. I mean, you sign a sheet, and then you give us the photo. It's that simple.
Right.
You know, I have interviews.
Well, and also, I mean, you've been throwing around all of these names and stuff all this time. I mean, I know President Bush. I know, you know, Laura, and I know Willie Nelson. I know, you know, and this is...
I met President Bush.
Right.
I have an award from Laura Bush.
Right.
For preserving the White House. So, I mean...
Right. There's no problem there. I'm just saying, why are you throwing around all these big names as if it's impressive somehow? I mean, in the matter.
No. I threw around Kennedy names in this conversation, and I explained to you that it's a photographer. First of all, nobody knows the name. Nobody even knows who people built it. But it sounds like you just want to do personal attacks and personal...
No, I just...
Everything we're talking about, sir, has nothing to do with...
Well, after you called Ron, you said in the last conversation, that Ron was nothing more than a hole in the wall, and that you're a public icon, and you've never heard of him.
I didn't say I'm a public icon. I never said I said I'm a public figure. I didn't say it's an icon. And that's because you told me you wanted to wait 2 weeks when every single bank says they take 24 hours. So
right.
When somebody tells me that they don't trust me enough, that they want to wait 2 weeks, and the White House trusts me, you said you know Laura Bush. I have an award signed by her, presented to me at the White House for helping preserve the White House. You know. So
yeah, that's great.
If you're talking about trust, and you're talking about trusting or not trusting someone, but you're just arguing with me about these abstract issues, sir.
No, well, I mean, you just continue to push this matter, and I mean, I've already told you in an email, and I've already told you in the conversation multiple times that I'm pretty sure this is a done deal with him. I mean, it's not me anymore at this point, and you've asked me why, and I told you, and you get offended, and you attack me, and I'm saying all of these things, and I'm playing games, and I'm not doing anything except I'm the middleman. I'm the middleman in this, and I'd appreciate the way that I've been treated.
It's obvious you're playing games.
Oh, okay, well then the conversation is over, Mr. Morgan.
Okay, fine, you're crazy.
Thank you.